We know this because we know the type of scribal activity that goes on with Old Testament manuscripts and New Testament manuscripts. They didn't consider these things to be immutable, like you would God is going to punish you in eternal hellfire for changing it. They didn't have that type of philosophy, so it's very hard to extrapolate backwards.
So when you say they here, you're talking about the scribes, correct?
Yep, the scribes are they're the reality that we have to mess with. So even
the
if
scribes, the kings, the people who were in the who had those manuscripts with them, right?
the scribe is just the person responsible for creating that manuscript.
Yeah.
Okay. So and the recensions of the Old Testament in particular are all over the place. You have the Septuagint. You have the Septuagint readings that are that seem like harmonizations, that seem like smoothing over problems. But then you have some that are completely arbitrary, like different genealogies or different ages of certain people, or like the height of Goliath, whether he was like 5 meters or like 5 feet tall or whatever. That is found in the Septuagint, and it's not found in the Masoretic text. But the Hebrew of the Dead Sea Scrolls agrees with the Septuagint something like 15 to 20% of the time. So now you have to think, okay, is the Septuagint part of a recension that included the Dead Sea Scrolls, and that it was created as kind of like a stepchild of it, or do they go back to two different complete recensions? Like the Septuagint line had its own family of Hebrew manuscripts that I was translating, and then another stream that formed into the Masoretic text, and then another stream for the Judean desert fragments. And then when you throw in the Shapiro scrolls into the mix, now you have a wild west of versions. Because the Shapiro scrolls, in my opinion, are absolutely authentic. I've interviewed two of the authorities in this area, and I don't think it's doubtful at all that they're actually legitimate manuscripts of a proto version of Deuteronomy.
How far back do those Shapiro scrolls go?
So if the paleographic analysis of the Hebrew is correct, then it goes back to around the 8th century BCE.
8th century BCE. Wow.
8th century BCE, yes, for the same time period as the lapidary Paleo Hebrew examples. So things like the whatchamacallit, like the subhanallah, the Moabite tablet, the Moabite slab, the Hezekiah tunnel inscriptions, all of these things that are in Paleo Hebrew, and those go back to like 6th, 8th century.